Hello and welcome to today's video. Now in today's video we'll be taking a look at three stocks. The first is Jubilant FoodWorks, the second is Bajaj Finance, and the third is Apollo Hospitals. Now before we look at the stocks, now on the global news front, this week there is not much that is expected to come out, and most of the data which is going to be coming out is for basically like UK, is GDP data and Bank of England data. But that is not of much significance to the Indian market, as it may, if it's good, it may cause a 15-minute blip on the top side. If it's bad, it might cause a bit of a drop. Unless it's horrendous, we're not going to get any significant reaction from British data, so it's not much of a concern to focus on it. Now, last week, when we look at the indexes, they were on an inflection point. They were doing well, and then they collapsed. That was very beneficial for me and the clients. This is as before the Fed announcement had come, I had started building up call sell positions. This is as I was expecting the fall to come as we had reached the top, and those benefited significantly. This is as we had sold calls in Nifty and Bank Nifty in weekly 8th May strikes and also in the monthly options. So those benefited greatly from the fall, and a sizable chunk of the profits has already been taken. Now I want to see if the Nifty and Bank Nifty, how they tackle a certain key level they're approaching as of now. I have shared that with the clients, and let's see how it goes. Now coming back to Jubilant FoodWorks. Now Jubilant FoodWorks is one stock that is looking interesting. I say that as when we look at the stock on the daily chart, we see that it has been having a very rough time, as it has managed to fall from 586 to 420 basically, and it's now trying to form a bottom. Now what spiked my interest in the stock is not that I believe it's going to have some long-term bullish journey or anything. No, I'm not looking at it at that point of view. I'm looking at it and more from a short-term point of view. Now on the mid of last week, the stock formed a high volume bullish bar, which was a big positive, and we can see that also the bulls had come in that day in a big way, and the trend catcher indicator started heading to the zero line. Now, how I expect the stock to trade and how I will trade it with my own money is that number one, I'll be waiting to see if the trend catcher indicator, this red line, also were to come back above zero. Number two, I'd want to see at least one more day of a higher bullish build-up. So basically these three steps where I've gone more bullish, if I can have one more day of another bullish build-up here. Then if all that occurs and we break the simple resistance at 468.95, then I will enter a small position. This is as we can go to the resistance at 480 and then be sent back down to test the support and then have a rise. So how I see, provided we are within the top part of basically, let's say 454 to 468 trading, we are safe. So if we break this, I will enter a small bullish position, and then I will only size up the position either if we fall back to the support at basically 454 or we break the resistance at 480. One of these two options. This is a sizable hurdle for the stock, and if we clear 480, then we'll be rising to 510. Now on the support front, apart from this support for entry which I'm using, which is 454, now the con support levels is one at 440 and one at 448. Now these two are going to be very important, as if these two by any chance were to be taken out in the coming days and weeks, this is probably going to be a slow move, then it will completely change the narrative, and we will end up breaking the low on the weekly chart and heading further down. Hence right now the stock is at an inflection point, and it can end up either testing 510 or going to 440. In most likelihood, we will hold the support at 448 and try to go towards 510, and it will be a slow gradual move. This is as it's trying to come above the trend catcher, and it's trying to change the price structure of the chart. Now on to the next stock, which is Bajaj Finance. Now Bajaj Finance had a very rough Friday. And now I will explain first why that happened according to me. If you see Bajaj Finance in the prior sessions had a gap down, as it had closed, let's say around 7310, and then it had a gap down to this lower part here. But the bad thing for the stock was that the gap down was a high volume bearish bar. So any gap, the rise which it tried to have on Friday could not sustain because it's going against most of the volume, and it would be naturally pulled back down. And that is why when it again tested the high of basically the range of 7,300, we got pulled back down. As if you see, the close is a 6,930, which is between the high volume bearish bar here. So it did not get pulled back down within the gap down zone even. It got pulled back down within this bar. This is most of the money is lying within this bar, and people are going to bring it down to this point. Now, how will I trade it in the coming sessions? I will only stick to Bajaj Finance in a day trade capacity, as positionally it's going to be very volatile. You can expect this drama to continue, and anyone who tries to trade this positionally will have MTM swings that are going to give them acidity, and they'll have to pop antacid pills like chewing gum, because the option prices will move very violently. So this is something that I would prefer to day trade. Now, if we break the low of Friday, then the first support is naturally the moving average of the 50-day. And if we break that, then 6675 is the next support. On the resistance front, on the positional, Bajaj Finance can do anything, but until it conquers 7300 to 7510 resistance zone, there is nothing the stock can do of going anywhere. This resistance zone is too strong. 7300 has been tested many times. 7510 has been tested in the past, and so these two are going to be the main hurdle for the stock on the upside. However, now in the coming week on the downside, if it by chance breaks 6675, then it will have a very fast descent to 6400 and 6250. Hence, Bajaj Finance is a stock that can only be positionally traded if we break 6675. Until then, within this zone, it's better to day trade it as holding, even with hedges, or holding within this range, the swings will drive any normal futures trader or option trader down the hill. Now, the next one is Apollo Hospitals. Now, Apollo Hospitals is also at an inflection point. Now, why do I say that? Now, Apollo Hospitals had a large fall here, and then it formed a range here. Now, in the last 1 week, it managed to gap down, and then after the gap down, it has been wobbling basically within the middle of the long candle it had formed on 29th April, Monday. Now, how do I see Apollo Hospitals trading? Any up move right now will have to battle the resistance at 6120 and 6300, and these two I believe will keep the stock down whether people like it or not. If by chance it was to clear this two, then it can resume its upward momentum. However, there is a high likelihood that any move towards this will basically just be a dead cat bounce, and it will be sent back down towards the simple support. If Apollo Hospitals were to break the simple support, then we can end up having a very quick fall to 5650, and that is the real trade which people should be waiting for. This zone is more for day traders, but a break of basically 5900 is where positional traders can come in by option buys and go to 5650 in quite a hurry. So I'll be watching Apollo Hospitals, waiting for it to break the simple support on the positional front. On the day trading front, I'll be looking for a bit of a dead cat bounce towards the high of this candle, and these resistance zones, and once it reaches there, it's a fresh shot to the simple support. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and if you did like it, then hit the like button and also share it with whoever you know who is interested in stocks. Thanks.